Hi there. I don't know because the music that I'm supposed to get is supposed to be a royalty free, but somehow Facebook recognized it as a Cambodian music. So anything that can go wrong will go wrong. So I don't know now whether you guys can comment. If you can comment, you can hear me clearly. Kindly type one. Type one. I have to take up the issue with Facebook. Anyway, kindly reshare. Having Facebook is crazily tight with the music. So I'm going to have to share it again. Okay, so everyone now can hear me. Can hear me? You type one. Wow, tonight really the ghost season start already. Got ghosts already. Everything kaput. Okay, so we are back again. Kindly share out live. For those of you who have seen the prizes. I won't repeat the prizes. The prizes you can go down to the video below. The prizes are all there, so I won't go through the prizes because tonight we're already running late. So this, kindly share, kindly share. Cannot communicate, Kelvin, I'm in a different cabin. The cabin got cut off already. This is when all hell break loose, when the main character got cut off, tried to call and then cannot get through, and then everything start to appear. All right, so how is everyone? For those of us in Malaysia, stay safe. Our numbers keep on rising. So anyway, in order to keep everyone at home while learning something, I've decided that this year we're going to do the Ghost Month Ghost Talk. This year there's a lot of, not a lot, but quite a few people who's been doing, sharing shows on ghosts, on talking about ghosts and so on. But then not everyone has a complete idea and picture. So because the best news or the good news about Ghost Month Ghost Talk this year is that it's going to be live every evening until the end of the Lunar 7th month. So after Lunar 7th month, I can't promise whether we will have or not, but at the moment, I have already decided that we will go, that I will go live for every evening. So we will start at 9:55, we will end before 11, that means 10:55. So topics that we cannot complete, then we will follow it the next day. Instead of we drag it too long because I can then do the scheduling. Okay, so for now, tonight, tomorrow night, evening is that we are going to do what are you going to prepare for Lunar 7th month. For those of you who are praying outside or if you are burning papers for offerings, what are the things that you should be looking at? What are the things that you should prepare yourself for the offerings? What are the types of papers? So today we are going to go through some of that. What are the things that you don't need, that you don't have to buy? What are the things that you definitely needs to have in order, or if you are doing any kind of offering? And if you are have no intention of offering, you haven't yet offered any paper offering before for every Lunar 7th month, then also you don't have to start. Not because you watch everybody is doing, then you are doing. You must be clear about what actually you are doing. Let me adjust my face a little bit red. Okay. So far my broadcast here is okay. Yaming. All right. Anybody of you here intend to do some offering during 7th month? I intend to do some offerings. I have because every night shopping channel around this time. Okay, so how many of you here are doing offering usually on the lunar 7th month? That means you pray on the roadside or you do offering for your office. Kindly type, what should I type? Kindly type burn, burn, burn. You type the burn, B-U-R-N, then I know where you are. Okay. Lagging, let me check. Okay. Okay, Gerald, I can see burning. Hey, my comments here, it's appearing quite fast. So the lagging doesn't seem to happen to me. How many of you are doing burn? You are doing burn. That means you are doing offerings outside your home or below your condo or apartments. Then I can know. Okay. All right. Okay, great. So what are the essential things that you should be getting? We will settle this first because sometimes as we go on, because this show is going to be every day. This show is going to be every day. So the first day we settle what you are going to do on this coming 8th of August first. Because after 8th of August, after you have done the initial offering, then we can go on to talk about a lot of different ghost stories, types of ghosts, types of spiritual things. There are many, many things that we can talk about. So we settle this one first. If not, later you guys are more confused or you want to know what else is there or there are certain questions. So we get you ready. Because some of you are in KL. I don't know whether in KL you have your joystick or Jaws paper shop is open or whether you have to buy online. So we try to do this now on the 1st, today on the 5th, and at least you get some time to buy. Okay, so there are a few essential things that you need to buy for can't burn, can covertly burn, Jerome. So there are a few things that you can purchase that are essential. If you have been offering, then you need to offer certain things. Okay, certain things that you must have in your offering. So the first one, wait. For information, I don't sell any of these. You must get online later. We will get online together. I will go into the screen on the internet, then we'll get online and then we can see what you need to purchase up. But now I let you through close up first what you need to get. So the first thing, you need to get this, the Wang Sheng Ji, they call it the Wang Sheng Zi. That means this is for Bado one. This one is the first one that you need to get. If you don't have any paper, you don't have any silver paper, you don't have any gold paper, it's also fine. But this one, you definitely must have in your 7 lunar month offering. That means your Wang Sheng Zi. So of course, there are some that says that it will have certain that will say that it will be blessed by nuns. Some will say it will be chanted by nuns. So it depends on you lah. But usually I buy the one that is the thinnest, so it's easier to burn. Okay, it's easier to burn. So this one is definitely a must-have. You don't have to have those. This one, how would I say? This one is that for the citizens in the netherworld, in between Bado one. This one is worth much more than the hell note. The hell note, the one that you know, the amount, billion one, the hell note one, this one is worth much more. So the second one, you need to have these colored papers. This one is a little bit worn out because this one is from last year, leftover. So you need to have this one, colored papers. This one, if you open up, it becomes usually I don't open up anyway, but if you open up, then it becomes a clothes. Some people, they just buy the color, this type of color, the different types of color paper also is there. So you need to buy this one as well. Okay, so this one represents the cloth, the different types of cloth. In different traditions, like for example, in Tibetan traditions, they will burn real clothes, real cloth to represent it. But in terms because you have many types of colors, so you get this. So these are two essential ones that you need to get. Then you need to get what we call the kai chin, which is the smaller amount, we call it the small change, the kai chin. So this one also you need to get it, the kai chin here. So for the kai chin here, this one is the starter. So you need to burn this one, you need to offer this one first before you offer any of the rest. Okay, so the kai chin, this one you need to offer. Kai chin, and then the last one you need is the silver paper, silver version paper. So some they come with this one, they call it whether you have the key or you don't have the key. Okay, so you can buy whether, for some people they like it without the key because they can fold. Okay, this also you would need. Okay, so for this one, when you fold, remember, some people still blur, is that when you fold the thing, the pointed, must not go up. Go up one is for offering of deities only. So whether your gold or silver one you can just fold like this way is fine. So for those of you who are lazy one but you buy whole stack, you can also burn the whole stack if that where you are burning allows it. But if it is not allowed, then, or if it's too troublesome to complete the offering or complete the burning, then by this is enough. So these are the only essential things that you need to get. Other than that is of course the candle and also incense. So candle and incense is up to you. Some people they don't offer, also it's fine. You don't have to offer the incense or the candle, also it's fine, as long as you offer the burning. Alright, so now let's get into the rules for offering. For those of you who if you haven't yet started offering, if you don't intend to do any offering, it's fine. It doesn't mean that because you're home, you're praying, then you need to do the offering. The offering is just also a means for you to do what we call some form of charity, but this is a spiritual charity. It means that you are offering this to the spirits, the different types of spirits that are out. So there are 3 sessions that you can offer. The first one is on the first day of the 7th lunar month. The second one you can offer is on the 15th day of the 7th lunar month. And the third one that you can offer, the final one before it closes, is on the last day of the 7th lunar month. So the first day of the lunar month, you can offer first evening, the 15th day, the 15th evening of the 7th lunar month, and also the final day of the 7th lunar month. So you can split your offering into 3 different days to offer. So some people will be wondering, some people will be asking like, I thought is the mid of 7th lunar month only we will start to do the offering. Actually not. Actually the day that it starts for the actual GMGT is on the 15th of the 7th lunar month. But usually we have increased spiritual activity on the 7th lunar month day, the first day itself. Actually, now also it started to slowly. So it depends, because for temples usually we do not do any sort of spiritual intervention or spiritual helping on the 7th lunar month. Usually we have to wait until it's over, okay, because the changing of the seasons and also the changing of the qi. Therefore, usually on the first day you can offer, the 15th, and also the last day. Some of you, if you are offering food, then you have to remember that when you're offering food, the food that you offer, you cannot take it yourself. It means for some people, they like to pray chicken, duck, whatever. You cannot take those food after that you have offered. So you remember that. A lot of people, they don't know. How many of you usually you offer together with meat, or you offer together with some other food stuff? If you offer with food stuff, then kindly type out food so I can know how many of you are offering with food. So if you're offering with food, remember those foods you cannot eat. It's not like you pray your ancestors or you pray with your pray to your earth deities. You can take, but for this you cannot. For the 7th lunar month, those that are offering outside one, you cannot ingest the food. Okay. Okay, so for those of you who are ingesting food, food depends on whether where you're offering it is, the conditions are likely to add, whether the conditions are likely to add, there are dust or there are some cars passing by or not lah. So if it's outside the house and if your food, if your offering is still okay, then you can maybe offer to some those wandering dogs, then you can offer. So Yamming, wait, let me. Okay, so we have a question from Yamming here, is that out of the 3 days, you can choose only to pray one day, or you need to pray all 3 days. You can choose only to pray one day, it's fine. If you choose to pray one day, you can either pray on the 15th or the last day of the 7th lunar month. That means if you are choosing to pray out of 3 just one day, you have to choose the one in the middle or the one at the end. The one in the front, because officially it's not open yet, but it's already there, so you can offer. But if you have to choose only one, you would need to be the one in the middle and the one and the final day. So either the middle one or the final day, you can choose to do so. Okay. Okay, so let's look at what are the other things that I haven't mentioned but it's all also in it now. After we go through what you need to offer, then we only talk about a bit. I will talk about psychics and spirits. How usually those that like to dabble with things that are oracle, things that are things, a lot of times there are certain spirits that follow the person. So I will talk about that later lah. So we will go into the purchase first. We'll go this one, whatever the platform, they didn't pay me any money, so I'm just using it as a convenient point only. Okay, so Shopee needs to pay me money. Okay. So let's go. I don't have any specific shops that I go to. It's just that I will help you guys to look at it only. Common. Okay. So for example, like this type of money, right, the value is actually in the nether world is much lower. The value is much lower compared to your Wang Sang Qin, compared to this one. So that's why if you are offering this, even though, for example, it's cheap in terms of money value, but the value in the nether world also is lesser. So it's not worth, because you need to burn a lot when you're offering. So at one time, then people will start to say, oh, people who are doing offering not environmental friendly lah, you throw everywhere lah, your things go away, because you have to be specific and choose what you need to offer. The highest value for your value of money. Okay? Wait, let me find what are some. Okay, so usually the candles, usually you can just light up 2 candles. If you have more and extra, then you can light up many of it at the same time. Okay, but if the place that you are offering have limited, space, or a lot of people who are offering, that means, for example, some condos, some apartments, they have a specific place that they do the offering, right? And then there are a lot of people do offering, so there are already a lot of people putting up all the candles and so on, so you don't have to light also all your candles. You can just light 2 will be enough. Duncan here say, what's the difference between Wang Sang Qun with mantra recitation and those without mantra recitation? We recommend the one with the mantra recitation, but we don't know whether anyone recited or not. So this one is according to what the distributor, what the seller later saying, but we wouldn't know unless you take one unrecited one. You go to a non-monastery or a temple with monks, you ask the monks to chant on behalf for you every day, then you can confirm it's chanted, it's recited. If not, it's a question mark. So we say what it is. Okay? Okay, so for usually this round one and your Wang Sang Qin is also the same thing. Okay, and your Wang Sang Qin is also the same thing. So you can either choose one, or if you are the people that likes a lot of different types of pattern one, then you can actually buy two different, and then you separate out into the days that you want to offer, and then you just offer. It's just the view of this. They cut it out, they just print this part of it only. So it's the same thing. So if you don't like any fancy stuff, you want to straight go to the point, be practical, and do your offering, you can do as to what I've suggested. If you like a little bit of variations, then you can select, but it's the same thing. Okay? So you can see there's a lot of platform. Either this one or another one with the L one also is the same. They have a lot of things you can offer. Okay. Now we have to go become very smart. Some of the things people don't, usually some online teachers and so on, they don't say. You have to remember, just recently I saw a video of people saying that there are few videos, some videos it's online, and they say why you need to burn money, because Chinese people are the only one, before I go on, let me answer this one first. From Ngakpa Master, for those food offering outside the house one cannot be eaten. Yes, best not to be eaten is because the food that you're offering are actually for all the wandering spirits. So you don't know what type of wandering spirits there are out there. So anything that is being exposed to the wandering spirits one, usually we don't eat, because if your luck is okay, then you don't mind eating it. But if your luck is not so good at that particular moment or in that period of time, if you further expose yourself to items that are already been offered to the spirits, especially if it's not your ancestors and also not your earth deities, then those foods are not encouraged to be consumed by yourself or by your family members, because it will bring your luck temporarily, it will bring your luck down. So when it brings your luck down, the situation that we are in right now with the pandemics and so on, everyone needs more than a little bit of luck. So therefore, it's not encouraged for you to consume or for your family members to consume. So either you can, if you have wandering animals, like for example wandering dogs, or you have certain dog shelters that you can donate those food to, then you can, of course after your offering, you can just pack it up and mix it together with rice or whatever you can offer to those shelters. But yourself, you cannot consume. Okay, so now we go into first and foremost, why we recommend, why do I recommend offering plain and traditional? These are all considered traditional types of offerings. We don't offer fancy. Very simple. A lot of some videos have been saying, like there are videos that are saying, oh, Chinese are the only people that think about money even for the dead, think about offering money even though make for the dead. Even people dead also, they think that the people who died, they like the money, so we print money, then after the money you have to print banks, all that. The thing is that you have to understand, when a person passes away, they have specific attachments with them, and usually not everyone, when you pass away directly, you go up to for rebirth. If you believe, if you subscribe to the Buddhism part, that means you instantly go for rebirth, as in the 6 realms, instantly you go for rebirth. Most of the people who are in Bardo state, they still have attachments in terms of their mental, of their mind. So when you burn, right, for example, whatever it is in terms of the currency or the money, the paper monies that's usual, it doesn't mean that in Cantonese say 嗰個靈體會發達啊，即是收到你啲嘢係咪？收到你啲錢會發達。It doesn't mean that. It's just that they need to, their attachments, they need to be pacified in terms of the attachments that they have, so they have some sort of relief. So if you are, let's say if you are doing all these fancy new types of currency, or the new types of design for offering to the spirits, right? They may not recognize those new designs. If they do not recognize those new designs, to pacify their attachment when they're in their spirit form, the chances of pacifying their attachments are lesser. Because it's same like you are today, I go and print a new, for those of you in Malaysia, today let's say the government come up, or not the government, or I myself, I print you a 6 ringgit bill that nobody have ever seen before. Even though the 6 ringgit bill maybe, let's say now it's not me, it's printed by the government, but the government haven't do any recognition. They just decide to circulate into the system. So if you receive that 6 ringgit, the first thing that comes to your mind, what will it be? Walao, this one, who go and print this 6 ringgit? I don't know it's recognized or not, because maybe nobody says anything. It's not circulated widely. There's no information being released saying that this is the new currency or this is the new thing. So nobody knows. So if you take it to even far more remote places like kampongs, you show the 6 ringgit to the person, they don't want to take your 6 ringgit because it's not recognized. Mentally, it's not recognized. So it's the same thing with spirits. You cannot do special fancy. If you can, right, that everybody do their different forms of things. We go by the one that's the most traditional for the past 20, 30 years, most traditionals, and when we have been using it for our spiritual cases and it works, so we stick to that. We don't go and do fancy new things. Because a lot of times these things are one-way ticket. One-way ticket means that when we burn, nobody will your money won't appear back in your wallet in a different form. That means directly appearing back in your different forms. So it's a one-way ticket. So we go with the one that's the most traditional, because those are the ones that when we do spiritual cases, those are the ones that can help to solve the spiritual cases. So we stick with that. We don't go with the fancy new ones, especially in the lunar 7 month, because we don't know what are the type of spirits that will pick up your offering. So if, let's say, today you organize like giving out 100, for example, you say today you want to organize a charity event, you're giving out ang pao 100 ringgit to those who need it, or to those who are let's say less fortunate, then there will be a lot of people lining up to get your 100 ringgit. So when they open up, you imagine if they open up the ang pao, inside the 100 ringgit looks weird one, they haven't seen before this 100 ringgit, or maybe the 100 ringgit got your face one, you're smiling there, 100 ringgit, $100. Even though it's valid, in some way it's valid, you have made certain you have made certain guarantees with banks or with whomever. But the people that first get that new 100 ringgit with your face on it, sure they will think that you are trying to be funny in some way. So that's why for offerings of wandering spirits, don't go with new and fancy stuff. You go with original or traditional forms one, then it's better. Okay? So you go with that. That's why. Then the second thing I want to say is that when the burning of this is to ease the mind. Of course, some people, they say you can, instead of burning the papers, you can do chanting, you can do recitation of sutras, you can do mantras. Of course you can. But if you are doing a recitation of mantras or sutras for the vast wandering spirits in your area, you don't know how many would come, and whether your recitations or your merits that you acquire from those recitations would be enough to help satisfy or to help ease the suffering, the minds of those wandering spirits. So that's why we have a lot of people who many cases already, that people who just switch on the radio or switch on the playback of mantra recitation, and they have problems because every day more and more of those spirits gather at your home. And then the amount, although you can't see, it can goes to a lot. and not many people would be able to withstand, especially if you are not full-time, if you are just part-time reciting. Okay, so therefore we just go with you can recite, you can read sutras, but then whatever that if you are already offered or intend to offer, then you just offer accordingly. Okay. Hi. All right. So don't go with anything fancy or new. Just go with the traditional ones. I cannot find the flag part because the day I saw a lot of people talking about the flag. Okay, a lot of people will be asking like, usually we don't have. Jerome is saying, wait, I have a comment. Okay, Jerome is saying, what is the best time to start and conclude the offering? Usually it's best, for example, if it's on the 15th, if you are choosing to do only one day, right? So if it's on the 15th, on the last day. On the 15th itself, you can be from 6 p.m. onward. 6 p.m. onwards, from 6 o'clock evening onwards. Even though there are some sunlights, you can start to offer already in the evening. So, and then the best time to conclude is after you just burn finish. If you're offering food, right, you just wait for your candle to finish. Or you want to wait longer, you wait for your incense to finish, then it's already considered done. Okay. If you are offering on the last day, then you have to be earlier, because the last day is usually for those part, some of the more, we will say, some of the more heavier karmic spirits, they would have to leave earlier. So then if you're offering on the last day, then it would have to be earlier. That means like 4 or 5 p.m. then you have to start offering already. We have Gerald here saying offering on 12 midnight. If you're offering on, for those of you who do not have any, that means you do not have any temple affiliations or any, your home doesn't have any specific altar or just one altar, just one Buddha altar and so on, don't offer in midnight. Don't listen to Gerald. If you're offering in midnight, I'm afraid later you have some other problems. Especially maybe the cops will come by and not standing outside your home or below your condo doing burning papers. Okay, so best is evening 6 p.m. onwards. Okay, we'll talk about back to spirits, our first day. Okay, a lot of we'll talk about spirits firsthand. Is that a lot of people, some of you, how many of you know someone who has been for some type of oracle? Either it's tea oracle. Some people, they do tea oracle. They look at tea leaves. Some people, they look at poker, not poker, cards, playing cards oracle. Okay, so any of you have experienced that, or somebody now modern days, they like to do tarot readings, tarot cards reading. Some are different types of decks, different types of, if you have any of those experiences, maybe your friends or you yourself, you can type oracle, O-R-A-C-L-E, oracle, so I can know how many of you have know about friends or you yourself. If you yourself, you type oracle, then 1. Oracle +1. If you know of other people, then you can type Oracle, O-R-A-C-L-E. Oracle. Okay. Let's see. Oh, that family. Hey, there's only one sharer here in your in the thing. I have to check later, because if for those of you who later you share, and then there will be lucky draw every evening, and there will be the soap. So the soap, either you want me to consecrate it, that means you want me to imbue for you to do, that means it's easier for you to do cleansing of yourself, or you just want the soap in itself. Okay, never mind. So then we will also have stories. If you have ghost stories, you kindly share. You can share either your word or in PDF form or in audio to this. Ghost stories one you have can share to 016 429 Okay, so many of you have, let me drink first. Okay, one thing you have to understand, for those who, let's say they are self-taught, people who are self-taught, I'm not talking about those who have learned the whole system and things like that. The simpler the oracle, the more accurate a person is. That means the more simple the oracle, and then they are very accurate at the oracle, at a certain type of the oracle. Usually, very few individuals have high natural born sixth sense. Those who have natural born sixth sense or psychic abilities account for less than 10% of those who are accurate. Then what about the 90% of those who are accurate? 90% of those who are accurate, either, there's two ways. Either, one, they are attached to some religious organization. It means either they are attached to certain types of cultivation and so on, or Taoist temple and so on. They are attached to those organization. Then they get their instinct, they get their psychic link from that religious organization. Number two, if they have totally no affiliation with whatever religious organization, they also have, prior to this, have no psychic ability of other kinds. It's just that they like to, for example, if they look at, for example, it's a tea, it's a teacup, they look at the tea for some time. Then whenever a person drink tea, they look at your tea leaves, they can tell you a lot of stories, and then it's not cold reading, it's very accurate to the dot one. Usually those are, they have some sort of link with a spirit. So the spirit may not be a bad spirit, they can be a benevolent spirit, they can be a cultivating spirit, but usually they have established a link with the spirit. A lot of times they don't realize. But usually when I look at them in the past, for this past 2.5 years, I've seen quite a few. They are really good at the oracle. The simpler the oracle, the more likelier the chance that the person has a link, has established a link with the spiritual world. Now, I'm not saying that it's a ghost or it's a bad spirit. It could be a benevolent spirit. It could be a higher spirit for some of those who are in the New Age. But definitely, they have linked up with a spirit. If you are not linked up with a spirit, very simple oracle, it's very difficult for that person to have that sense, that psychic sense. Because, for example, let's say if you are learning a very complex oracle tool, then if you are good at it, that means you are skillful. But if it's a very simple tools, like for example, tea leaves, then the interpretation from the tea leaves can go anywhere. And to be accurate from it, they usually have a link to spirit. And from that spirit, if the benevolent one, we don't mention a benevolent one, it can be, they can help you in your cultivation, your career, and then they evolve together. But those, if you don't know who you have connected to or who you have linkage to, then it's a little bit dangerous. Why it's dangerous is because some people, they use it as a form to earn a living, then it's fine because they just finish with it. After the session, they no longer deal with whatever linkage. They didn't establish further linkage. But for some, especially, I've seen younger generations or those who are new, who are interested in this, once they establish that linkage, they ask further, more, deeper into their psyche. So when they start to ask those things, then they have different types of answers, and they have been referenced to do different types of things. So once you start to communicate with your linkage, right? You start to communicate your link with the spirit, then it's starting to get dangerous because number one, you do not have any sort of backup. You do not have any sort of backup, so things can go wrong. When it goes wrong, you don't know. The most dangerous part is that you don't know when it goes wrong, and you don't know what to do when it goes wrong, and you don't know where to get help when it goes wrong. That I've seen many. So just now I have some one, okay. Okay, so you must be very careful for those of you who are very simple oracle. Later I'll come back to another question. Wong says that, what about traditional sir offering? That means it's smoke offering. Tomorrow we'll talk about smoke offering. And also, if you are doing business, what are the best things that you can do for your offering in terms of after you offer in the Lunar 7th month, what are things that you can say and what are things that you can do to help also get the blessings, and not blessing because it's spirits, I get the help and assistance from the spirits. Okay, Wong says that, how about traditional sir offering? You intend to increase the substance during Ghost month, but after Ghost month, if I reduce back to original amount, is there? There's no danger. The thing is that you need to do offering in the morning one a lot before you start to do the evening. A lot of people, they do evening, especially in the Lunar 7th month. Then it might pose some problems. Okay, so we will discuss that tomorrow. Yang Ming is saying the okra is different from seeing Ba Zi or Qi Men. Yeah, it's different. Because Ba Zi and Qi Men, they are steps to look at the oracle, and then the oracle itself is it requires the skill because it's much more complex. You can get your clues from different areas. What I'm saying here is that very simple oracles, those are very simple. Some people, they just use leaf. Some people, they just use certain few cards, just one card, two card, then they can talk about that. So those are the one that's more likely you have a linkage to the spirits. Because if you are not born psychic and the oracle that you are using is very simple, but you get very accurate at it, and it's not cold reading. Cold reading means that if you look at a person, then you say that, cold reading is that you provide general statement, general statements to fish for some further information. Those are the people that what we call cold reading. That means you read a person, you say two things. Like for example, you are a very, if with the right crowd, usually you tend to speak more. But sometimes you also find that you yourself will find that to be alone is also not so bad. So you see where I'm getting on with the statement. So those who are pro at this, who are professional at this, they can very smoothly, they talk. So these are what we call cold reading. It's not based on skill, it's based on trying to psychologically using vague general statements to get you to talk further, so to understand what are your things. So we are not talking about cold reading as well. We are talking about people who can look at the cards or the tea leaves, can straight pinpoint your past, what you have done in your past, in your childhood, in your teenagers years, and so on, with accuracy, without you providing any information. Those are usually linked to a spirit, like higher spirit, lower spirit, we don't know. Have to talk to the person or have to look to the person, then only we will know. Okay? For those of you who have stories, I haven't pinned this. Okay, you can share your things to it, because today we are going to conclude, because we are already reaching our 1 hour mark. For those of you, if you want to get the best sharing for the soap, right? What you can do, wait, let me go to the double screen. Okay. Okay, for those of you who want to, for those of you who are watching up until now, I forgot to mention it just now, for those of you who are already in the Boost Luck, then you don't have to click on, you don't have to click on to click onto the form, because the form is giving for the month of August the Boost Luck. Okay, the month of August Boost Luck, 1 month free. So that means you get from this weekend, starting from Friday onwards, there will be some activation Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the next coming whole of month of August. So by just watching or paying attention to the Ghost Month, Ghost Talk, of course, if you're watching this from the beginning of the month, you are more beneficial, because you start to receive the information for the month of August, so you can do many activations to boost your luck. If you are watching this by the time we are in the mid of the 7th lunar month, that means only you have 2 weeks left, so it's not so mo kam chok so, like in Cantonese we say. So the earlier you are in, the earlier more chok so that you have. So that form is also, wait, let me share the forms. First day a little bit kalang kabut. So the boost luck 2.0 is 1 month complimentary. So sometimes people say, if you watch the live show, or you watch, not live show, the live streaming, then usually people ask you to buy things. This one, I don't ask you to buy anything, someone give you. Okay, the Boost Luck 2.0 month of August. So you follow the link. You follow this link, you fill up your particulars, your name, your full name, your phone number, because we are going to contact you via WhatsApp to give you the link, and also your phone number will be your password to enter into the group that has the 1 month information. So if any of the part that you give us is incorrect, then WhatsApp, we cannot contact you, or we cannot contact you via SMS. So when that we cannot contact you, then you miss out on yourself. Okay, so this is for genuine people only. So if you want to use some false identity, or you want to use you don't want to even offer your phone, then you cannot, because the value of the Boost Luck itself for 1 month is close to 200 ringgit. So I'm giving it out to you, yes, you, those of you who are watching this. Why? Is because people say that everyone is experiencing difficulty. I cannot, it's not viable for me to like draw talisman, or to do blessing rituals, or to help you start a ritual for whatever religious ritual or whatever. So the best I can do is to offer you 1 month free into the Boost Luck program that we have been running for the 2nd year, and we have a lot of testimonial from the Boost Luck. So therefore, I believe that that will help for those of you who are watching who are not yet in the Boost Luck program. Okay, so you just follow the link. For those of you who are already in the Boost Luck one, you don't have to submit the form, because you already have the information. Okay. Then what can you do for the pricing? There are prizes for the best sharer. That means that in each, I have 3 prizes. That means each 1, 2. That means for, let's say, every 10 days, I will select the best sharer. So the best sharer themselves would get the COVID-19 saliva test, which is worth, now in the market is how much? I forgot, 40 something ringgit. Plus, I will give out a cream, a beeswax cream by Kuba Krisana. I have 1 big tub. I forgot to put into the video for the price. So those people who are best sharer, I will also give you the cream, and also the COVID-19 self-test kit. Everybody needs it, the self-test kit, and the beeswax to enhance your relationship, enhance your luck. So that one I will give it out free, postage included, no strings attached, but you need to share. So what is the best sharer? Is that best sharer is that you share out what you have watched tonight, what information that you have get. That means you just summarize. That means, for example, you write, okay, I like the first episode of GMGT because tonight I learned about what are the paper to offer and so on. So then you just screen cap that and WhatsApp it to my 016 WhatsApp to my number. Okay, or you can just post on the comments below. It's easier lah. You just post comment, don't need to screen cap. You just share and then you comment, and then if I selected your comment, I would go to your profile page and see whether you have shared it out publicly. Then I will put your name for the draw for the best sharer. So in that 10 days, if sometimes nobody write good comments or nobody writes at all, if you happen to write it, then you get it. Okay, so the cream itself worth at least 168 ringgit. So 168 ringgit plus the COVID-19 self-test kit, let's say it's 40 lah. So that itself is around 200 ringgit already. I'm giving it. Okay, so 200 ringgit for you to just do a simple summary, and you just, as you watch, you just, after finish, you just quickly share it, then you have a chance to win it already. So there will be 3 winners. That means every 10 days we'll select one, and every day I will also select a sharer. For those who have shared to your page, you just write an interesting comments, and then tomorrow I will, after I've gone through tomorrow afternoon, I'll look through, and if it's interesting, then I will select that, and then I'll send you the soap, the ginseng soap. Whether you want it consecrate or not, then you direct message me lah. Some people don't like it. Some people want to just normal soap. They just enjoy the ginseng soap. Some people like me to consecrate, then you can consecrate lah. Then I can consecrate for you, no problem. Then I'll take a video as we consecrate those that wanted the soap to be consecrated. Because a lot of times I find that today don't have enough time. Wait, let me go back to the main screen. Because nowadays a lot of people want, sometimes when they ask them what are the things that they can use or for protection, they give all those silly answers. I have no time to boot up the thing. Tomorrow onwards, hopefully, I have the Mythbuster section. Jason. Okay, last question for the day, and then for the evening, then we'll close. Any difference to use joystick with green legs versus red legs for offering to the spirit? Thank you, Jason, to open up this particular topic. Some people say that, hey, if you want to offer to spirits, have to use the green legs one. That means the 青角的香还是红角的香. That means below is green. Actually, the green one was figured out much later when they have those technology to make the color differentiation. But whether the spirits care or not, they don't care. They don't care. Whatever you offer, as long as it's incense, and if it's incense of, like for example, if you buy those sir offering incense, or if you buy those smoke offering incense, that means it contains grains. Grains means contains food item like milk powder, wheat, oat, and all that. They make into incense in stick. That one even better, because the wandering spirit sometimes even food itself, the smell of food they also cannot or not qualified to take. The smell of those burning of foods, that means what we call smoke offering. Tomorrow we'll talk about that. That itself is even better. So whether your leg is purple color, black color, yellow color, red color, green color, the spirits don't mind one. These are commercially been made to satisfy the living people who are offering the thing. Okay, so it's not to satisfy the spirits. It's to satisfy our eye in terms of, wow, we separate out, this one green one. But when the spirit looks at it, they don't mind, they don't care. As long as you get good incense. Okay, as long as you got good incense. So most important is the type of incense. If you can buy, just now I forgot to mention, if you are buying to, let's say, incense to offer the wandering spirits, you can buy those for smoke offering one. Those now they have fine incense sticks one, but it's for smoke offering one. Then that one is even better. That means you are doing 2 or 3 things at the same time. Smoke offering, offering of the papers, offering of food, together at one go. So that one is even better. And then finally, people have been asking, saying that, hey, when you are offering the wandering spirits, you shouldn't ask for things. That is correct in one way. Number two is that they say that you don't have to ask for anything. I better not ask anything. If you ask anything, then later the spirit will follow you and things like that. You don't have to worry about that so much. If you want to worry this, worry that, then the best is not to offer at all, because the more you offer, then the more confused and scared you become. When you are offering, especially, we'll talk about individuals, company tomorrow, we'll say, when you're offering, always you say that, okay, this year I'm offering this so much and so much type of offering, hoping that all the good brothers and sisters, you will help take care of my security when I travel in and out of this area, or when I move in and out of this area, help to look after my security, look after my property and things like that. That will be enough. Okay, that is something. Some say, oh, you cannot even ask for this. It's the same. Every day you offer, or you offer once in a while, you offer quite big offering. You just tell the some of the people who are passing by, right, hey, you just have a look. That means 幫下眼睇下我嘅 property， 睇下我嘅屋企，我出入平安。That means even if there are people want to rob you, at least they will suddenly cover their eyes, or make it that they will cover it and they don't look at you, they will look at some other targets. Those are the simple things that you can ask for. Of course, you don't say that, hey, I offer you, then you make sure. Now also you cannot buy numbers, and numbers all tutup, unless you buy the one that's not official one, I cannot buy. So don't ask for outrageous things, but if you're asking for safety and have a look at, that's perfectly normal. Okay. Tomorrow, Duncan, tomorrow I'll show you guys the smoke offering types of joysticks. Tomorrow we'll talk about smoke offering. Okay, so remember to share. If you're sharing out, saying that just simple 1 or 2 wording, what you have learned about today, and what you like about today's session, then there will be enough. So if I look at the sharer, I'll just go through the sharer, and then I'll just look at what you're sharing. Then there will be enough. Okay? So have yourself a great evening. Tomorrow there are more contents that we'll talk about. We'll talk about offering at your office, offering for your businesses in terms of in the Lunar 7th month. What are some of the things that you can do to increase your luck, your safety, because now sometimes the security is not so good because of the economic times, and then what you can do with the offering to have an extra help from the spiritual world. And also we'll talk about the smoke offering, and we'll talk about myth busting as well. So tomorrow is 9:55. See you guys. Have yourself a good evening. See you tomorrow. Make sure you share out. The next winner is you. Okay, let me go through. Okay.